Maybe you never needed another morning routine. Maybe what you actually needed was to stop using the morning routine to avoid sitting with yourself for 5 minutes. But you've convinced yourself that structure and discipline is the answer because it's way easier to believe that you need better systems than to actually acknowledge that no system has ever touched the thing that's underneath it. Maybe you never needed to work harder. Maybe what you actually needed was to understand why slowing down feels like a threat to your very survival. But you've convinced yourself that the pace and the momentum is the price of success. Because it's easier to believe that than to acknowledge that the man driving that pace is completely terrified of what he'll find if he stops. Maybe you never needed to be more productive. Maybe what you actually needed was to feel something other than being useful. Because somewhere early on, you learned that your self-worth lived in your output, and every system, every habit, every optimization has just been a more sophisticated version of the same original belief that I am only enough when I am producing. And I remember when I was building my last business, looking after my dad, running on no sleep, filling every hour because an empty hour meant sitting with the grief and the fear and the shame that I had no idea how to process. And I thought I needed better time management. But what I actually needed was to finally feel what I had been outrunning for years. And these are the things that changed when I stopped looking for better coping and started going to the root. Anxiety didn't need managing, it needed completing. The drive didn't need channeling, it needed to be questioned. And my identity didn't need to be optimized, it needed to be completely dismantled and rebuilt from something real and authentic. So you were never undisciplined, you just needed someone to tell you that the discipline was never the point.